See that they've come along to support the press conference, and it kind of underlines what I'm saying. When you look down the list of undercard fighters, it is absolutely stacked. Tyrone Nurse, who's here, going to be defending his British super lightweight title against Joe Hughes. Got what on the face of it promises to be a terrific fight for the English super middleweight title. Jermaine Smile, who's away on the right here, who had a very good win last time out, English champion, who's going to be defending against Daryl Williams, who's working with Tommy in the run-up to his fight. Daryl's undefeated. I think it's fair to say that Jermaine and Daryl have a similar sort of ethos. They both go for it. It's not going to be one for shrinking violets. That's going to be a terrific fight. Liam Woodstock, shy, understated man on my left. He's got his first title fight against Paul Holt. And Leon is a Leicester lad, so he's sure to get fantastic support. Great to see him here. Anthony Yarde, who's undefeated in 9 now. A little bit of a step up for him. He's going to be fighting Nathan King, who's a tough guy from Wales, who's been around, he's travelled, always gives a good account of himself. Anthony, if you've not seen him, is a phenomenal puncher. And I think he and Tunde and Frank Warren, the problem almost for Anthony is to get the timing right, because there'll be a lot of people who say he's ready to be fighting for British titles right now. We'll hear from him in a moment or two. And also up here on the top table, I think I've introduced just about everybody, but we've got Eko Esuman as well from Nottingham, who's had 2 professional fights and as an amateur actually has a win against Tommy, which Tommy I'm sure will remember only too clearly. He's fighting a 4-rounder against Sam Amidi of Manchester, but Eko is somebody of whom there are great hopes for the future. So I think probably as good a place as any to start is with the 2 guys at the end of the table, which is the dust up for the English title, Jermaine Smile, Leicester lad, local lad, who's going to have sold lots of tickets against Daryl Williams, and for Daryl, great opportunity to announce himself to a wider audience. Start with you, Jermaine. This is a proper fight, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be a good fight. Like you say, we both kind of got the same ethos when it comes to fighting, and it's going to be an exciting fight, yeah.
Are you aware of your sort of place in the history of Leicester boxing here? You know, flying the flag for a pretty impressive tradition.
Yeah, I mean, like the last big massive boxing event in Leicester was probably 25 years ago at Granby Halls.
I was there.
Yeah, yeah, probably Chris Wyatt, and we haven't had one since then. I mean, it's crazy to think. But I'm the one flying the flag now, and I think it's my duty to kind of put Leicester back on the map again. So,
how much of a buzz is there around the city? How much? Because I hear that tickets have gone very well. There are still a few available, but not a huge number. There is a buzz, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a big buzz. Yeah, definitely. And now we've got this Leicester Arena as well. Before this, we didn't have anything really. No arena, no big place to stage an event like this. So yeah, everyone's buzzing for it really, yeah. Dan
tells me it's going to be set out for about 3,500. That's going to be the crowd here, and there's going to be a serious atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be electric. It's going to be electric.
Now, tell us about this fight you've got against Daryl, because yeah, I mean, I introduced it saying you've got the same attitude. He's going to be a handful, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's unbeaten. He's 14 fighters, unbeaten, and you don't get him beat. You're not unbeaten for no reason. I mean,
Has he boxed anyway?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he hasn't really.
Clifton, how are you?
Yeah, as my trainer's saying, he's not really boxed anyway. I mean, I deserve to be here. I mean, I'm English champion. I mean, I've fought guys. I'm alright to be here. I mean, so yeah, I just don't think he's not really boxed anyone, and this is going to be a big step up for him. And if you don't realise that, then it's going to be problems really.
Okay, well let's hear what Daryl's got to say about that. How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm okay.
And he and his manager trainer sitting down there has made a noisy entry into the press conference. Say you've not fought anybody.
Yeah, you know, you can say what you like. Everyone can say what they like. You know, when it comes down to it, and you start getting punches in your face, and your chest starts hurting, and you start wanting to go fucking. Sorry, excuse my language. You know, you start wanting to piss blood later on because you got too many body shots through your ribcage. That's when you're gonna know what time it is, really, ain't you? So, to be honest, you know, people saying that me and him are the same. We're not the same. We're not the same at all. Nothing like him. He's nothing like me. Nothing like me.
So how do you think you're different?
I'm an animal. He ain't an animal. That's the difference. That's the difference, straight and through. That's it.
I think it's fair to say you might think he's underestimating you.
No, I know he's underestimating me. I know he's underestimating me, and his trainer over there, you know, don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's there screaming out like a little kid. You know, behave yourself, man. Calm down. You know what I mean? So, you know, so let's get on in it. You know, I'm not really into this talking business. You know, what I mean, I don't really do that.
Do you think this is going to be the? Do you think this is? Hang on a minute, Clifton. Do you think this is going to be the fight of the night?
You know, I can't say it's going to be the fight of the night. You know, I've got Yarde right next to me here. You know, there's other people here next to me that are top class fighters. You know, so but I know that I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do what I got to do. You know, and you know, if they believe that because I haven't fought anyone or got anyone on paper that I've fought with a big name, that it's going to be an easy night, well, you're going to get slaughtered, mate.
You're working in the run-up to this with Tommy, so giving him some quality work, I would imagine. How's that going?
Yeah, you know, this is the second day I've been up here. So we spoke with Tommy yesterday, and yeah, it was really good, tough sparring. You know, he's really quick off the mark, and you know, I've got no doubts that he's going to win this fight. And you know, yeah, like this is good work for me. Sparring with someone like that of that caliber and of that speed. You know, and you know, I personally don't think that Jermaine is as good as Tommy. So me sparring with this caliber and these kind of fighters and going in with someone like him, to me, it's a downgrade.
You're on a big bill which is going to be televised, of course, by BT Sport and on BoxNation. Do you see this as a chance to really announce your name to a wider public?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, this is a big chance for me to get my name out there and you know, go further in my career. You know, like don't get me wrong in what I'm saying. You know, I'm not trying to say that it's going to be an easy fight for me and I'm just going to walk through it. But believe me, he's going to be in for a shock when I get in there.
We will have a face-to-face photograph later, which is going to be interesting. That will be after the press conference, so get your hard hats ready, get your cameras ready for that one. But thank you guys for the moment. Let me introduce Echo next. Nice to see you up here. You're in a 4-rounder on the bill from Nottingham, and you've got some good amateur wins on your record, haven't you, against this fella, and you've beaten Anthony Fowler as well. How different is the professional game that you've seen so far, the professional business, I should call it?
As an amateur, I did a lot, and I still had quite a pro style whilst I was boxing on the GB and the WSB as well. So I think the difference for me would just be settling into the slight change of pace, because it's not a sprint no more. But I can just go through my gears as I please, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
Tell me about your training, about how you're preparing for this. Where are you working?
I'm working in Nottingham, where I'm from. We're Barrington Brown and Jimmy Gill, and I've just been going through my strength phase of training, so we're knuckling down to the tech and the speed now, and I'm going to come out.
Jimmy, how do I put this nicely? He's got masses of experience. I would imagine that it's nice to be alongside somebody who's been involved in boxing for so long.
Yeah, it's good. I've known Jimmy for a while, so I feel comfortable and I'm happy with where I'm at.
You obviously want to get a win out of this. You're on the learning curve. If you could sort of see yourself 2 years from now, where would you like to be?
A year and a half from now, I'm going to be title chasing. That's when I'm going to start. So 2 years from now, I will have a title.
How much are your words and your ability, how much are they recognising you up in Nottingham? Are there people starting to take notice?
Yeah, people are starting to take notice. My word is my bond, so if I say something, I'm dead set on doing it. So people are taking notice.
Good lad. Okay, well, we look forward to seeing you in action. Right, moving to my left now. If you've not seen Anthony fight, you've missed something. He can punch, he really can. 8 knockouts out of 9, isn't it, Anthony? And you seem to have taken to the pro game like a duck to water. You're loving it, aren't you?
I'm loving it. First thing I want to do is just thank everyone for coming. Thank you to BT Sports, Frank Warren, my trainer Tunde Ajayi, and everyone else involved. Yeah, it's been exciting.
People are taking notice of you big time, but before we talk about your actual boxing, I mean, you're an all-round athlete, aren't you? Somebody told me that you're a serious sprinter.
I used to be.
What was your best time?
Just under 11 seconds at 16 years old.
Well, that is, I mean, if you can run that sort of time at 16, there must have been moments in you when you were growing up as a young athlete. You must have thought that, okay, boxing maybe, but you must have thought about athletics.
Yeah, I was running for Texas Anderson in an academy. At them ages, I wasn't even thinking about boxing. I was interested in watching it, but me thinking, would I do it as a profession? I didn't think so, but I'm here now.
So who are your sporting heroes then? I mean, I guess you're too young to remember the likes of Linford Christie, but who were the people who you looked up to as an athlete?
I wasn't really interested in athletics, if I'm honest. I was just good at it. I met a few people that was involved in it, but it wasn't really it wasn't my interest.
So what decided you on boxing?
Just watching it, and then obviously a bit of naughty things on the street. I'll be 100% honest with you. I got into altercations. Sometimes you can't prevent things, and then I was hitting people and knocking them over from a young age. And I'm talking about grown men as well. So,
are you one of those guys then who, working with somebody like Tunde and the discipline of boxing, that it's been really good for you?
Yeah, 100%. It took me out of certain areas that I never want to go back to. Discipline, working towards something in life, and yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving the journey.
Well, people are loving watching you boxing as well. It's I said when I was doing the initial introduction, it's almost kind of holding you back, because you as a fighter, I mean, fighters always think they can beat everybody, but you must think that you could go and win a title now.
Of course, if you're in boxing and you think that someone's either better than you or they can do anything better than you in boxing, you need to change the sports completely. You need to be confident. You need to be like a beast. You need to be ferocious. You need to know that you can take out anyone. And that's the mentality I've gone in with since the amateurs. I had 12 amateur fights, 11 knockouts. I've had 9 professional fights, 8 knockouts. So I'm going to try and keep the ratio going.
Where do you get that power from? I mean, it's more than just strength, isn't it? Timing's so important. Come on, give us a little insight.
I would say it all comes from the mind. You see all them Chinese martial arts people, you see the skinniest man, he looks like a twig. He's breaking the biggest trees. So I believe it's in your mind. Again, precision and hitting people in the right place. Like they're saying that Golovkin's some murderous puncher, but you got Julius Jackson, he was a real power
Jackson
puncher.
could seriously punch.
And then, but you see Golovkin now, he places his punches. He hits people in the right place, right time, things like that. So again, it's in the mind and it's placing the punches in the right place.
In a hypothetical situation, the current British champion is Frank Buglioni. If you were in there against Frank Buglioni, what sort of fight do you think we'd see?
If it happens, let's just wait and see.
You think you'd knock him out?
I think I can knock out anybody on the right day.
Now, what about Nathan King? That's who you're fighting. Nathan's been around the block, tough guy, and I guess on paper it represents a step up.
Yeah, I think my last opponent, they said, was a step up as well. He had won more than he'd lost. I just believe that when you get in the ring, 1 or 2 things can happen, or 1 or 3 things can happen. You win, lose, or you draw. My job is to go in there and perform as the best Anthony Yarde, not worry about what anyone else can do. Not watch his tapes and say, oh, he does this good, he does that bad. It's me and Tunde working in the gym every day and seeing my progression. And then my progression's been shown in the ring so far, so I'm going to stick to that.
how long do you think it'll be before we see you fighting for a significant title? English, Commonwealth, British, whatever.
Everyone needs to keep this line in their diaries. Everything's timing. So when the time's right and it comes and it presents itself, Anthony Yarde will show up, 100%.
And you're confident that you'll be making a bit of a statement here as well?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Right, Tyrone Nurse, British super lightweight title, fighting against Joe Hughes, who people will remember for Jack Catterall. Not so long back, took Catterall the distance, and Jack against Tyrone naturally is a fight which is being talked about, which could happen somewhere down the line. But let's just speak to Tyrone first of all, and about the fact you've kind of been an avoided man, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, the last two managers, Jack and Davis, and both withdrawn the day before first, you know, doing both unbeaten punches. Their promoters are backing them as the next best thing, you know, so you could say I've been avoided. If you look back, you know, going way back, you know, English champion Bradley Saunders were withdrawing, then if there was his team said no, you know, it's...
Why do you think that is? Because you're awkward, or because they know you're better than they are, or what?
Stylistically, on my day, it'd be a nightmare for anyone. You know, and that's what it comes down to, I guess, and a high risk, low reward at the time, maybe. You know, and obviously these lads have got world rankings with their, you know, respected organisations that the belts are held in, so, you know.
I think everybody who's watched you fight knows how much you do bring, and how proud as a fighter you are. Do you think we've not seen the best of you yet?
No, there's loads more to come, and I think when the step-ups come and the bigger fights come, you know what I mean, the European Champions team's just knocked us back, so, you know, they're the things that I want, and I'm sick of sitting on British now. You know, it'd be nice to get a mandatory and win it and move on, but it's wasting my time, really. You know, I could have done 10 voluntary defences by the time it comes in my 30-year-old, and I'm like, well, wasted 3 years of my life, so...
How old are you now?
Just gone 27. So, you know, I'm just coming into my peak, you know, I'm coming to my best years, so it's time to get a move on, I think. And, you know, I've got kids and family, so it's time to get a move on, and, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to better myself and better my life and win bigger, better belts.
Sure. Well, what about Joe as an opponent? As I say, he went the distance with Jack Catterall. What do you reckon you might do?
Yeah, you know, I mean, without a doubt, I'm going to win. There's no way I'm losing this fight, you know. I'm not going to overlook Joe. I think he's a good fighter. You've got to look at his problems that he has with his cerebral palsy. You know, I mean, he's done great things for someone with one arm, essentially. So, but you know, that's going to be his downfall of the night. He's not going to have enough variety for me. And, you know, we're going to go and we'll win. And
they talk about the possibility of you fighting Jack Catterall. You've been avoided in the past. If it comes to it, do you think that'll actually happen? Do you think he'd want to fight you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's anyone who's been in boxing the way I've been in boxing with my dad, having champions way before me. You know, I understand and see how much politics is in boxing, and promoters work with promoters, certain managers work on their fighter to fight. So you know, and there's a lot of that behind it. You know, as a fighter, I'm happy to fight anyone. But I think the fight, there's a good chance the fight will happen. I'll both with Warren and the BT Sport behind it all, you know, the big broadcasting, you know, it's going to be a big money fight down the line.
How important has it been to make the switch to sign with Frank Warren and, you know, to potentially, as you say, you alluded to there, potentially be one of the headline acts for...
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, you know, it's a whole new broadcaster on the scene, you know, so it's opened up boxing greatly. And, you know, everyone here at the table is all getting opportunities that they possibly wouldn't have done before, and so it's massive. You know, and it's like you say, you know, to be a headline act like Tommy is now, you know, it's a great thought, it's a great picture made.
Chris tells me that there's been a little whisper and a little bit of talk behind the scenes about you and Terry Flanagan.
Well, I mean, we know Steve Miller and Terry, but, you know, he was saying that Terry's not worrying about moving up soon, and, you know, if there's no 10 stoners want to fight me, then I'll fight Terry when he moves up. It's not an issue.
That'd be a serious fight.
Well,
that would be a serious fight.
We've known Terry since he turned pro. We always used to work together with Steve Woods, so it's, you know, like I say, I'm not going to stray away from a fight. I'll fight Anthony if he wants. You know, I'm not bothered me, you know, it's a fight. Two hands, two legs, you know, it's all it comes down to, you know, so, you know, give me the right time, the right preparation, I'm happy to fight whoever.
Okay, well, thanks for that, and best of luck on what are we, 22nd of April here at the Leicester Arena. Now, we'll concentrate next on the lad to my left here, Liam Woodstock, undefeated in 8 fights and a first chance to fight for a title. Midlands area super feather up against Paul Holt from Birmingham. Paul is has a full-time job and he's not been able to be here today. But Leon, I mean, you're a bit flash, aren't you?
I don't know.
Tiny bit.
When it classes flash, I'm just me. You know what I mean? This is Liam Woodstock. This is how I am. I don't put nothing on. I ain't a show. I ain't pretending to be someone I'm not. This is just how I am, how I've been brought up, and who I've came to be.
How much of a following are you expecting on the night, being a local lad?
Well, I've done. We're touching like 300, so we're doing pretty well on the tickets. To be honest, like, I'm surprised about how Leicester's got together. To be honest, because I didn't really expect there to be such a big noise about it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's the first show in Leicester, professional show in Leicester in like 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit mad. And the fact, like, me and my coach, we came down here with my sponsor. Thomas Cass's roofing company, like half a year ago, talking to these people, telling them like, this is where we want the show to be when we start fighting in Leicester, this, that and the other, and then they made the contacts, made the links, and he's saying now, do you know what I mean? So big props to Frank for sorting that out, man.
Yeah, sure. And Leicester, obviously with Leicester City going so well, destined to win the Champions League, as we all know, and Leicester Tigers, new coach being announced today. Great sporting city. I mean, you must love the fact that boxing here is back on the big stage as well.
Exactly, because like back in the day, Leicester was a big fighting city. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to see a lot of the old timers come through and be like, "Yo, boxing's back here." Do you know what I mean? So we can come through, we can watch it again and bring the old glory days back, man. Do you know what I mean?
You have to get Sibbo down.
He's came to a couple of my fights, so I would be surprised if you see him down. Do you know what I'm saying? So like when I was in the amateurs, I told, like, me and my coach, we told people like, "Yo, we're gonna bring boxing back to Leicester. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring the glory days back." People didn't believe us. They laughed at us. Do you know what I mean? And look where we're sitting now. Look who we got here. Do you know what I'm saying? So it speaks for itself.
How much are you enjoying life as a professional boxer? 8 wins out of 8 now, and on paper it's all going brilliantly. How much are you enjoying it?
Boxing is like my life's like, it's not entertaining or flashy or anything. My life's really boring, to be fair. I'm always training or at home. My gym, my life, like that's just how it is. My gym's 2 minutes from my house. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I'm not at the gym, you'll find me at my home. Do you get what I'm saying? Even like later at night, 11 o'clock, I'll go down with my mum. She props mum, and I'll go and train. And do you know what I mean? So on my own, just being her. So that's just how it is. Do you know what I mean? Training, man. Training, resting. Training, resting.
Who's your hero as a boxer? Who would you look at and say, you know, is it Mayweather? You look at him and say, that's where I'd like to be, or what? Who do you really look up to?
One of my favourite fighters of all time is Sugar Ray Robinson, but like alongside him, Roy Jones Jr. Definitely. I love Roy Jones. His character, his charisma, his style, the way he carries himself. Like everything he does as a man, as a person, that's something that I can take that from him. Do you know what I mean? I can learn from that. I don't know. Well, if you just mentioned Mayweather, I reckon what I could take away from him is probably his business brain. That's about it. I don't want to. I'm not looking to take anything else from.
What do you particularly like about Roy Jones Jr.? Because he was, you know, I mean, when you watched that fight at the weekend, I don't know what you thought, but I mean, I think if you look at somebody like Sugar Ray Leonard, somebody like a prime Roy Jones,
yeah.
I think that have schooled Golovkin.
Oh, 100%. I hate it when people are trying to tell me that Golovkin would be able to even step in the ring with someone like Marvin Hagler. Like, and I told them people straight to their face, like, just sit down and shut up, because that's stupid, man. You're mad. They're from a different generation. They're cut from a completely different cloth, and we got to give them their props. These fighters nowadays ain't messing with fighters back then. They did it proper. They was real fighters, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was all or nothing with them. There was no fancy business, no flash crap. It was just real.
Leon, thank you very much, and like all the rest of the fighters, he'll be available for one-on-ones with whoever wants afterwards, and pictures, etc. So it's time to move on to the main event. Tommy Langford against AVTANDIL KHURTSIDZE, the Georgian. It's for the WBO interim world title, and depending obviously what happens with Billy Joe Saunders and Golovkin, whether or not that fight happens. They're talking about it going ahead in June, possibly in Kazakhstan. If that fight does happen, then there is the possibility that whoever wins this fight between Tommy and his Georgian opponent could be upgraded to be full WBO champion. Khurtsidze would have been the mandatory for Billy Joe, I think that's right, isn't it? But obviously that is not now happening because Billy Joe may well be moving on to be the next man for Golovkin. But Tommy, for you, this represents just an amazing opportunity, doesn't it?
Yes, huge opportunity. This is what you want in your career. You know, you want big opportunities, big chances, and this is mine. And it's come along, and you know, I got to thank Frank Warren. He's always looking out for the opportunities for me, and always has done. And that's all I've been offered in my career. Offered the Commonwealth, took it, won it. British, took it, won it. Same with this one. Got offered it, took it, and I'm going to win it.
He's a tough guy though, isn't he? I mean, he's got a reputation of being absolutely hard as nails and being somebody who's been avoided.
Yeah, he's very avoided. You know, none of the top fighters at the moment out there have wanted to fight him. They've all turned him down. He is very tough, very strong. Looking at him, but it's hard because he's been avoided. It's hard to say how he compares to the elite. I mean, the only one fighter in the current top 10 middleweights who's fought him is Hassan Ndam, and that was 7 years ago when they were probably both at their, well, I'd say the Georgian was probably at his peak then, and Hassan scraped a point to win against him. He won, but it was a close fight, so he's been outboxed, and I think that's the key.
You've got massive physical advantages. You know, what do you stand? 6 foot, roughly?
6'1".
6'1",
Yeah.
and he's, well, I know on paper people are saying he's 5'4". I think he's a bit bigger than that, but I would. You know, people singing hi ho when he walks into the ring. But you know, I think the thing is, the key to this, what most people would say, would be whether physically you can keep him off. Are you confident you can do that?
Do you know what? I think I've watched a bit of his footage, and you run away from him, and it's a nightmare. You know, you try and back off too much and give him too much space and try and run and circle and outbox him, then you know, you put yourself in problems, you put yourself in trouble. So I'm going to be first. I'm going to go out and I'm going to take it to him. So
you're not going to be just on the back foot and looking to jab and move. You're looking to establish yourself.
You know, you've got to. I'm going in there. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to fight him, and that's what I'm about. That's what I've always been about. Anybody that's known me my whole career, amateur, professional, I've taken everything that's been offered to me. Every fighter that ever been thrown down to me, I've always taken it, and I've gone and fought them. And this is my chance to really prove myself and that I belong at the elite. You know, and that's what it is. It is a chance. It's a huge opportunity. You know, but people are, you know, you can say, okay, I haven't mixed outside domestic level, or I haven't had the opportunity to do so yet, and I've been given it now, and I'm going to make sure that I firmly establish myself on that scene, and well, that's where I want to stay.
You would have had Chris Eubank, of course, but
yeah.
You know, you're hardly the first one to have been messed around there, and that fight never happened. That must have been tough for you, because that was the one you were looking at, I guess, as a big breakthrough fight, which never happened.
Yeah, it would have been brilliant. I was really looking forward to that fight. We all were. I think the public were. You know, showed in the fact that the arena was sold out within 10 days for that fight. But listen, the Eubanks do what the Eubanks do. I don't care. I don't care. He's got an IBO belt. I'm fighting for a WBO title.
Do you think, just playing devil's advocate here, do you think that the explanation that the fight never actually happened is that they actually didn't fancy it too much?
Too big a risk. It's too big a risk to them to fight me. You know, they don't fancy it because they've been down and sparred him, and I've done him in sparring, and it's been well said by me and by Frank. You know, they rang the office and said we don't want nothing to do with Tommy Langford. You know, and I don't believe they ever intended on taking the fight. They accepted the purse bids when they come in, signed that, but then talking about God knows who else, as they always do. Fine. Then not attending press conferences, and then he has tennis elbow. But if they genuinely wanted to defend the British title and fight for the British title, even with an injury, it's postponed. The fight is postponed and it's happened on a later date. They didn't postpone it, they then vacated it. You know, I don't want to keep talking about. I've talked to them to death. I'm sick of the Eubanks. Do you know what I mean? I'm
sorry to bring this up again.
No, it's all right. It's got to be said, to be fair. But like, they do what they do, and they won't fight anybody. He won't fight anybody. They'll keep fighting. I mean, they were saying. I mean, what did he say? Such a vast chasm to the rest of, above the rest of the domestic pack. So he didn't want to fight a 17-0 Commonwealth champion to defend his British. But then he fought an Australian who was 11-1. Fought nobody. You know, for an IBO title, which and I'm not disrespecting world titles, because if I won a world title, I'd say it's a world title. But I think the title's as good as the champion. And you can't say that he was an elite fighter, the fighter he fought in his last fight. So the Eubanks won't fight anybody because they'll keep doing what they're doing. I've got no interest in fighting in them. They're just.
You just wiped that away now.
It's done. I'm moving on. I win this one. I'm looking at the man. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at. And I've got the right. By winning this title, I've got the right to be looking at Billy Joe and looking at Golovkin. And that is what I'm about. I'm about winning this fight and deserving the right to talk about myself with the elite. That's what I want, and that's where I want to be.
Well, let's just have a word about Golovkin then, because we all saw that fight at the weekend. What do you think you learned about Golovkin from that?
I think I learned about Golovkin that it's hard to say, but I think maybe it's very hard to say. Maybe age is starting to catch up with him for one. I think his team maybe believe in the hype themselves a bit too much, in that it's only a matter of time until he catches somebody and then he takes them out. Because where I have seen Golovkin in the past be a phenomenal boxer, he didn't show that. I was expecting to show that against Jacobs, and then I thought it would go the one way, but I didn't think he did show his real technical boxing ability, because he felt in his own head, or whether his team felt, it's a matter of time. When we catch him, he's going to go. When we catch him, he's going to go. And circumstances, they never caught him.
No.
You know, and credit to Jacobs as well, myself included, as well as everybody else out there, completely underestimated what Jacobs would bring. I thought Jacobs would go and go straight at him and attack him, as he'd done in previous fights. He didn't do that. He boxed a very clever fight.
Do you think he kind of provided a blueprint as to how, if you got that opportunity, Jacobs showed you how you can beat Gennady Golovkin?
I've always said to you, you've got to do two things to beat him. You've either got to be a ferocious puncher and go straight at him and get him first, or you've got to do a Sugar Ray Leonard and what Leonard did to Hagler and be very fleet-footed, steal the rounds with flashy combinations, and then keep him off with your feet and keep him away with the movement, which to a certain extent Jacobs did. I think the early rounds Jacobs made, I mean, while speaking about, this isn't my words, this is speaking about somebody else, but I think the early rounds maybe Jacobs showed a little bit of rabbit and headlight sort of thing, because he was nervous of Golovkin's power so much that they're the rounds where he lost it. If he'd gone out with after he got knocked down, he'd come out a completely different fighter. It's like it changed him and he took it to Golovkin more. But you know, so
rounds 5 to 10.
it was a great fight. I think it was a great fight, and you know, it showed the real class of Jacobs, and it showed areas that Golovkin maybe has been neglecting. I'm not saying he hasn't got, maybe has been neglecting, and I hope Billy Joe fights him, and I really want Billy Joe to beat him. You know,
because Billy Joe against Tommy Langford
Yeah.
would be a big one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would be massive. It'd be massive, absolutely huge.
Do you think Billy Joe can beat him?
Well, listen, Billy Joe's phenomenally good on his feet, and he's a very, very good technical boxer. So he's got after the weekend, if Golovkin don't change and don't adapt what he was doing, he's got a phenomenal chance. But we'll see. It's all ifs and buts and maybes. I'm fighting Kurtidze.
Yeah. Well, final word then about Khurtsidze, about what you're facing. He is, by repute and from what we've been able to see and from his record, he has this bull-like strength. Do you think it's going to be a long haul sort of fight? Do you think, is this likely to be a distance fight where you're looking at your stamina and your sheer determination?
It's going to be a very, very exciting fight. Like you said, he's bullish. He said he's coming over here to knock me out. But quite honestly, that's what you expect. He's going to try and do, because that's the only way he knows how to fight. He has to get inside, and he has to work away inside and chop you down. You know, and ultimately, I've got to be first. I've got to outbox him, and I've got to not mix it up, you know. But so the fight, the styles are there. That this is going to be a real tasty fight for the fans.
And
It's
you'll
gonna
have
be a very exciting fight.
You'll have your usual army of
I've
support, I
got
imagine.
loads coming again. You know, near enough 1,000 coming. So about at the moment, you know, just a few more to shift, and I'll hit that number. But it's you know, it's a great fight for me, and I'm confident. I'm growing in confidence every day in the gym. I'm delivering the tactic that I need to deliver on the night, and it's just a case now of polishing, perfecting it for them. So when I get in there on the 22nd of April, it's completely rehearsed, and I've just got bang done.
Still make
Job
11
done.
stone 6, okay?
Yeah, I did a check weight last week. I was only 11.13, so I'm £7. You know, £7
That's
over
good.
now. It's nothing. 5 weeks out. You know, I've got to watch I don't lose too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's gonna be a great fight, and like I'm really looking forward to it. Like you said, he's been avoided. He's going to come over hungry. He's not fought for a year. Whether that's because he's avoided or whether because they thought Douglas, the win against Douglas was a good win, was a flash in the pan, and they're saving him for big ones. You know, he's older than me, a lot older than me, 37. So is he aging,
Nothing
or is
wrong
he,
with being
or is he,
37.
or is he aging, or is he very experienced? You know, so there's question marks in this, and if you look down his record, he's fought pumped up super welters, light middles. So there's question marks over him as well. You know, he is what they say he is. He is bullish, come forward, strong, dangerous. If you're going on all that, but he's fighting me, and I know what I can do, and Tom knows what I can do, and we're confident in delivering it. And like I said, every day in the gym, I'm improving, I'm getting better, and I'm looking forward to delivering a winning tactic on 22nd of April.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Tommy. Well said. And it's a bill which I'm personally looking forward to massively. It is going to be really good. Anyway, you've heard enough from me. Are there any questions now from the floor for the lads, please?
Tommy, I know you're just focusing on Khurtsidze. Do you still go to bed at night and you think about what might be there down the horizon afterwards?
No. No, honestly I don't now. This is massive. This is huge for me, big chance. Can't think of anything past this, because this is the one. I win this, you never know, could be made world champion. You know, so this is as big as it gets at the moment for me, and there's no chance. The next thing can wait. Win this one, then I can talk about the next thing. So yeah, no, sorry.
When you were watching Golovkin Saturday night, you were thinking tactics, what you'll do.
Listen, there's dreams, and you dream of those mega fights being on, you know, worldwide televised, Showtime, HBO TV, BT Sport. You know, everybody watching it, everybody talking about it. That's what you dream, and obviously you want to be part of that, and I do want to be part of that. But like, I know what I've got to get through to get there, and I know what, you know, I know what I'd do if I fought him. So you see so much of him, you can't help but think about what you do if you fought him. So obviously I've thought about it, but no, I'm firmly concentrating on this man.
Tyrone Nurse struggled to get opponents. No one seems to want to step up to the mandatory spot. Having this British title, we've personally seen on our channel a lot more people being vocal in calling you out and wanting the fights. Do you feel like you've got a target on your back now for
Yeah, I
moving
mean,
forward?
as soon as you win a belt, Tommy's going to be the same. If he picks up this WBO, he's going to have every other middleweight in the country calling him out. You know, it's just the way it is, isn't it? You know, you've got a nice shiny belt, they want it, but people can talk. It's the ones that get in the ring and do it that means something. You know, at the end of the day, if you don't get in the ring, you're talking shit. Simple.
Does that give you more admiration for Joe Hughes, the fact that he was willing to step up and take this fight?
Yeah, I mean, for any champion, you get a good 10, 15 fighters in your division who will fight you. You know, ones who were not expecting the shot as soon as the other fighters, you know, and it's about giving them opportunities, and that's exactly what Joe's been given. You know, and he's going to come and try to take it with both hands, but it's not going to work, so.
Jermaine, smile, you've worked hard to get into this position. You're fighting an undefeated fighter in Daryl Williams. How confident are you that your hand will be raised on the night?
I'm very confident. Like I say, he hasn't fought anyone. I've beat Malcolm for the fight for the title. I just beat Liam McKenzie. I'm far more experienced as well, so I mean I'm very, very confident that mine will be raised at the end of the night.
And same question for you, Daryl, if you don't mind. How confident are you that you can come in and get the result and take that English title back to London?
I'm 100% confident. You know, to be fair, you know, it doesn't. Like I've said it before. You know, it doesn't really matter who he's fought before me. He's in there with me now, and I'm none of them guys he's fought. None of them at all. None of them at all. Most of those fights that he's had, they've been close decisions. People said it's gone one way. People said it's gone this way. You know, you ain't winning convincingly, bro. So to be honest, let's. I don't even want to talk no more. Let's just do the damn thing.
What have you done to deserve? How have you? I don't think you deserve this shot. Really.
No.
I mean, this is a voluntary defence. It's not mandatory. I don't need to fight you.
Cool, that's fine, isn't it? You know, like you've chosen to fight me. Whatever you've seen, whatever your trainers over there's told you that you can do against me, it's not gonna work, brother. You know, it's not gonna happen. So you've made this decision. You put yourself in the firing range. You're going to lose, brother. Like I'm 100%. You're gonna lose, brother. I'm telling you.
Okay. We'll see on the night, innit? We'll see on the night. I mean, I let my fist do the talking, innit? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, cool, man.
I'll talk to you.
I let my fist do the talking.
You let big man over there do the talking. Let him do the talking, bro.
You do the fight, I'll do it.
Yeah, man, you do the talking. You stay over there chatting crap, bro. Cool, man.
All right, bro.
Any more?
No more for me. No more for me.
Anybody for anybody? Yeah, carry on.
Can all the fighters from Jermaine at that end, after this next fight, can they all just give us one name of a British fighter they'd like to spank?
Yeah, that's not a bad question. Go on. After the fight you've got here, the question is, who in an ideal world among the British fighters would you like to spank? Was the word used.
But no, I can't think of one really. I'm just thinking about what's ahead of me really. I mean, I'm thinking about Daryl Williams. That's what I'd like to spank right now. So, I mean, I'm not really going to look further than that. I mean.
Echo?
For me, whoever's got a title in about a year and a half, or 2 years from now, they better move lanes because I'm going to take it.
Tyrone, if you could choose one, who is it?
I've already called him out today. You've all witnessed it first, and he's been very quiet about it. So.
Anthony Yarde.
Let's make it happen.
Leave you till last time. Leon.
I ain't want to call people out because I don't believe I'm at a position to be able to do that. But if I had to choose, it'd be Sam Bonehead Bowen, so I could knock that stupid smile off his ugly face.
Anthony. Tyrone Nurse is looking for you.
You've heard it here. Tyrone Nurse called me out, so you know we've got a date set in June that no one knows about. We're gonna get cracking.
Apart from Tyrone, who would you like?
No, in all honesty and all seriousness, I'm a person that's on a mission, and when the time's right, whoever's got any titles, I'm not a person to call out names because I focus on myself and my own development. So whoever's got titles, that's in my way. When the time comes, you'll see excitement.
Daryl, your shout. I know you didn't want to say anything more, but if you could whack one person, sorry, if you could spank one person, who would it be?
To be honest, to be honest, like Anthony said as well, you know, I'm not really one to call people out. You know, I just let whatever comes to me come to me. You know, and I like to keep it respectful. And you know, everyone's got their own journey that they're going on, you know, and that's it. But really, the only person right now I want to spank is Jermaine, definitely. But apart from that, nah, there ain't nothing else I want to say about anyone.
Tommy, final word?
I think you will know really why I'd like to.
I think I've got a good idea. Go on, tell us.
Your man down from Brighton, pretty bang, you get it. That's it.
Big time.
Yeah.
No amplification. just Eubank.
He's the one who annoys everybody the most, and let's be honest, he's the one who's a pain in the arse. So yeah, if you're gonna get a chance, you do that one. But look, I'm looking at this at the moment anyway, so
Okay.
he can wait.
Good answer. Good answer. Any more?
Tell me very quickly, when you win this fight, are you going to bring the next defence for your next fight back to Birmingham?
I'd love to fight in Birmingham. You know, I'd love to the first defence to be in Birmingham, and you know, I know Frank would like to do that as well. But I have to leave it up to the team. It's not down to me where I defend or who I fight or where. It's down to Frank and the team. So, but I know they'd want to do it. They'd want to do it local, Birmingham or the Black Country, anywhere in the Black Country. You know, because I sell so many tickets, the arena would be done. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm sure that would happen. Get this win. Get everybody in Birmingham and the Midlands needs to get behind me. Get here to support this fight, and you know, you'll have another champion, and then we'll get some mega fights in the Midlands then as well.
John, what's the possibility of that happening if he goes against Saunders?
It'd be very good, I would imagine. I mean, if Billy does the business against Golovkin, if that were to happen, you know, I mean, a fight against Tommy would be massive. That would be a huge domestic scrap. I think you know, I mean, you don't. Say again?
The Hawthorns.
Oh yeah, I was going to say an outdoor arena would be a given. I think when you get a world title fight involving two British fighters, you know, it's always something really special, isn't it? You know, you're old enough to remember Eubank and Ben and those sort of fights of that sort of magnitude. You know, you're talking about that now for this era. If that were to happen, it would be the sort of fight which would absolutely entrance the country, I think.
I think if you got a fight against Chris Bashew Jr., you'd have to go on to planet Pluto, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Believe it when we see it.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Right. Thank you very much for being here today. Just me to reiterate, there are a few tickets still remaining. Saturday, the 22nd of April, here at the Leicester Arena. It's going to be a special night for the City of Champions, and we all look forward to seeing you there on the night. Okay.